Hey, I have a question for you. Are you shy? Are you afraid to approach a stranger and have a conversation with them? Maybe you feel awkward, maybe you don't know what to say, how to approach another person. You still want to connect with other people, you still want to approach other people, but something inside you makes you feel awkward, makes you feel intimidated, and you're afraid of starting and approaching them. Well, maybe I have a hobby that will allow you to have these connections without the awkwardness. What do you think about that? Have you ever considered tango? Welcome to Goodnight Tango. I'm Christos, I'm dancing tango for 8 years now, and for the last 3 years I'm also writing about that in my blog. 10 years ago, if I wanted to approach a person, a stranger, and start a conversation with them, that would feel very awkward with me. Even with friends, chatting, sending them a message or having a call and asking them to go out for a coffee was quite intimidating. I was quite afraid of that. And I realize now that the last 10 years since I started learning tango, many of these have changed. I was like this 10 years ago. I'm still a little bit shy. I'm still a little bit afraid to approach a stranger and have a conversation without knowing them. But the last 8 years and dancing tango allowed me to have this kind of conversations, allowed me to have this kind of connections with people without really being intimidated by that. In this video, I'm going to share with you why I think tango is a perfect hobby for shy persons. So without further ado, let's dive into the first reason. And the first reason is that tango has a predefined structure for social interactions. What I mean by that is that when we dance tango, there is usually specific rules on how we approach and how we dance with other people. The most common one and the most known one is that when we want to invite somebody to dance, we don't just go there and ask to dance with them. We usually look at them from a distance, they look back at us, and we nod to each other. And if they nod back, then there is an agreement and we approach to dance. So there is rules on how we dance, and also there are also rules on how many songs we dance. Usually there are 3 or 4 songs that we dance together with a partner. Then there is another type of music that every couple is breaking up and goes to their place, and then another tango music starts, and we find another partner and we start dancing. So there are predefined rules on how we interact with each other, and everybody knows them, and it's much easier to follow them. When I first started tango, it was quite difficult for me to, look somebody else, look a girl in the eyes, look a woman in the eyes, and, ask her to dance if I didn't know them. But I thought about that and I said, okay, if I was going to play basketball, I would have to follow the rules. I would have to not kick the ball. The same is in tango. If I want to dance tango, I have to follow the rules. And the rules say you have to look at them and you have to nod at them, and then we dance. So it's much easier. It's not so overwhelming and it's not so intimidating in this way. And the second reason why tango is perfect for shy persons is because it's based on non-verbal communication. When we dance with each other, we communicate only with our bodies. The conversation is improvised based on our body movements. We read and react to each other's body movements, and we don't really speak to each other. We don't say anything to each other, maybe a few words in between songs that we dance. So this is forming a connection between you and your partner in a much deeper level, in a different level from just having a conversation. And it also makes it quite easier for you to approach somebody because you don't have to find something to say. You can just dance and maybe speak for a few seconds between songs. And even then, if you stay silent, it's all okay. There's no problem. So you're not pressured to find something to say, and you have to keep the conversation going and to find new topics and navigate the conversation and everything else. all this is predefined by the structure of the dance. You have to dance with the person for 4 songs or 3. The series of songs ends and then you split apart. So even if it is hard for you to find the right words or the right topics for striking a conversation with another person, you don't have to care about that. I mean, you can just stay silent between the songs or let the other person drive the conversation and ask you whatever they want. Actually, as a shy person myself, many of the times between the songs, I don't really say anything. I'm quite silent. And if my partner asks me or strikes a conversation, then it's okay with me. If not, I'm just fine with that. And we continue with the next song until the tanda, the series of songs finishes, and that's all. We say thank you, we split apart, and that's all. And it's perfectly fine. Nobody has any problems with that. I mean, it's all natural in tango. Maybe it's not natural for real life, but for tango, that is perfectly fine. So you see how it fits very nice with the shy personality in this case. The third reason why tango is quite good for shy persons is that it helps you build confidence. You know, I described that we follow a specific structure in our interactions. We follow a specific structure when we dance. The dance is happening without having words. But at some point between the songs, sometimes you have to discuss, you have to find a topic, you have to strike a conversation. And sometimes the other person helps you with that. Sometimes nothing happens, okay? But all this interaction that happens even non-verbally, and all these interactions that you have with other persons, the fact that you are allowed and the structure allows you and encourages you to approach strangers and connect with them through the dance builds confidence in you so that you can apply that to your life, to other situations. You know, I see it from myself. From the moment that I started learning tango, and even more from the moment that I started dancing tango, and the moment that I started dancing tango with strangers, with people that I didn't know, it became much easier for me to approach and feel comfortable discussing and opening up a conversation and approach anybody else in any other situation. I feel much easier in such social conversations, such social circumstances. And yeah, I'm not anymore so intimidated by that kind of situations. I'm not so much fearing to be in a social interaction with other people that I don't know and have a discussion. Tango provides a framework for practicing your skills of interacting with other people, especially with strangers. And this then reflects back to your rest of your life. So here we are. If you're shy, if you are afraid of connecting with other people, if you feel intimidated by starting a conversation with a stranger, maybe you should consider starting tango. And if the idea about tango that you have is something exotic, something quite impressive, showy, or whatever else, maybe the video on the screen will help you demystify that a little bit. See you there. Ciao.